Here we go. Hello, guys.
Hello, hello.
We are on day 3. We're almost halfway through. So in about 15 minutes, we'll be halfway through our 5-day challenge. This has been great. I would love to know what you guys have learned so far. I know I've gotten some private messages and emails, but I think there's a lot of encouragement that happens when we share in the group, and if people see that you've something that stood out to you that you've learned, it inspires other people to share too. And so I would love to know what you guys have learned. What's been your favorite thing so far, or big aha moment? Would love to have that shared in the group. I'm trying to see if we're even actually in the group, even though it says we are.
It is.
Okay.
I see it in the group.
It's not showing to me, so.
I love when people share their takeaways from anything we do, whether I'm with a group of friends and we study something, or I'm at a business meeting. I love hearing people's takeaways. So I would love to hear from all of you. What was your main takeaway or your aha moments? Now, we are going to do a shorter session today, and we are going to work a lot more on the practicalities of turning your skill into income, or turning your asset into income. But we want to get your juices flowing, your creative juices flowing today, by sharing a few different things. And then you can think about it, write some stuff down as you're thinking about it, and then tomorrow we'll spend more time actually talking about the specifics, like what are you going to do, step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, so we talked about discovering your skill, your asset, what you know, based on what you've done, based on your experience, education, all of those things. Any of those things can become or can be turned into assets. They are skills or assets that can be turned into income. We talked about the income goal, and we wanted to challenge you to post it in the group. Some of you did it, and well done. But then, all of us want to make a lot more money. I think most of us do. But at times, things hold us back. Day 2, we talked about what is holding us back. We talked about different mindsets, the employee mindset versus the business owner mindset, the CEO mindset. And we wanted to start sharing with you things that are going to change how you think about it. And the questions we ask and the way we look at things is going to determine the type of success we'll have, rather than worry about how am I going to build this business, right? Sometimes we can ask a different question. And for instance, I could say, how can I make $10,000 without building everything from scratch? Like, what's the easiest way to make $10,000, rather than how can I build this business that is making $10,000? Maybe I don't need to build a business that's making $10,000. Maybe I just need a partnership with someone who has something. I can bring in whatever I have, and that can generate $10,000, right? Asking the right question is going to change the type of answers we receive. So the things we talked about yesterday about what's holding you back were intended to start making you look at things differently and maybe ask different types of questions. So today, we want to discover how you can turn what you know into value that people are going to pay you for. How do you take what you know, your skill, your asset, and turn that into income? When it comes to turning what you know, it takes practice. If you want to grow muscles, you have to go to the gym and you have to practice. You can't just expect that, oh, I want to have more muscles, right? You can just say it and not do anything about it. There's an idea muscle that we have in our brain. As we practice it, as we do it, we start to see more things that make sense. We start to see ideas everywhere. Jenny and I have been saying this almost every time we've talked in the last 6 months or 12 months. There's plenty of ideas. There are plenty of ideas out there. there are plenty of ideas each one of us has, then put us together and we get an exponential amount of ideas. And it just becomes so much easier. Like when you
Yeah.
are using that muscle, you're going to get so much better. So that's the encouraging part, right? Just practice it. Think about what kind of problem have I solved in my past? And that's probably a problem that you can help other people solve,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to pay you for it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like basically how you turn anything you know or any asset you have into money. That's the simplest way, right? Look at a problem you have had, and turn that into some type of content. That's a pretty easy way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can jump into some ideas. Jenny, do you want to share some ideas? Do you want me to go first?
Actually, I wanted to just expand a little bit on what you said with, ideas are not the problem. And it is a muscle to use. But I was thinking a lot of you guys in here have said the same thing. I have all these ideas. I don't know where to start. I don't know, what to do with that. And you're probably going here. But just thinking there's seeing those ideas and those opportunities is one thing, but seeing them through a lens of a strategy is another thing. And that's really where I think practicing that muscle to determine, okay, is this really something viable? And can I build income streams around it? Is there ways to monetize this idea? That's the muscle. You start seeing those kinds of ideas. I think that's more the muscle that you're referring to practice. It's not just, oh, it'd be great to I have a mustache. It'd be great to have a mug with a little mustache guard on it. Somebody needs to make this. It's actually understanding how that could be monetized and kind of having more of that strategy behind or tied to that idea. That's the practice that we need to put into place to be able to grow something.
Yeah. So let's talk about some ideas. In the past, I have thought, I wonder what we need to pack when we go to X place, whether it was Glacier National Park or Alaska or Hawaii. My sister and I, and with a couple of friends, we take these yearly trips where we hike a lot, and every area is different. So often I had that question, and then I would go online and research and waste time, and I would get so annoyed because I'm like, I just wish someone had a simple, booklet that told me exactly what I needed to know, so I don't waste time. That's an idea, a problem I've had in the past that I wasted time on, or which hikes should we go on? Like if we want to go on some strenuous hikes and alternate between strenuous and medium medium level hikes, what hikes should we go if we go to Glacier National Parks? What are like must see hikes? And you can go to some sites and they might have a few different things, but there's no like one booklet, or if I have 3 days, if I have 5 days, if I have 7 days. If someone were to just give me pictures and reasons why you should go see X, Y, and Z, I would totally pay 5, 10, 20, even probably $30, because there's so much time that goes into researching. That's a problem I've had. And I remember having this conversation with my sister and our friends. Like, we wasted so many days researching it. Now, of course, even if I were to pay $20 on something, I would still probably do a little bit of research, but it would limit the time, and my time is valuable. That's the one resource we cannot make, right? We cannot make more time. So that's why, for me, I would pay for it. If you ever thought to yourself, man, I have so many things around the house I need to sell. I just wish someone would do it for me. I don't know if you had that thought. I did. So that's a service, right, that I could technically provide, or I could build the team of people who can provide it for. And I would target like really wealthy neighborhoods. I wouldn't target poor neighborhoods. And it's not that hard to actually target really rich neighborhoods. You can just do a postcard and mail it to every house in a neighborhood using EDDM, every door something mailing. You choose a route like a mailing route. And if you go to the post office website, they tell you the income level of the people in that area, how many people, how many homes, and then how much it would cost. So for about $100 you might target like a whole route, and you could just do a simple postcard that would cost you almost nothing. Let us sell the stuff you don't need anymore. And people are going to give you some free stuff all the time. I found so many used books for free online on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I know that would be an idea, a service that you can build. Two things I have needed in the past that I would probably, in terms of having people sell stuff for me, I have given some other people boxes of stuff for free. And I said, sell it, just give me a percentage of what you make. I have done that. And this person that was selling stuff on eBay, he was under pricing stuff. And then he ended up going out of business. He just did not know how to run a business. But I gave him a whole box of things. And I do remember some old returns from Amazon generated quite a bit of money for us. And then we shared 50-50. So if you can think of a problem you've had in the past, or if you ever said, oh, I wish I had access to this or that, that's probably an idea that can be converted into money. Now, how do you know if people are willing to pay money for your ideas? There are tons of different ways, but we'll just mention 2 right now, or 3 things, and then we'll mention more maybe tomorrow. Books, that's my first go-to. I go to Amazon, I go Kindle or paperback books, and I type my topic, whether that is packing, a trip packer, or I don't know what I would put for some of these ideas. I would have to think through, but I would go and look for that type of thing. If you intend to build a service, then I probably wouldn't go on Amazon. I would go to Craigslist and look at gigs or jobs that people are willing to pay for. There are sites like Craigslist, and they have a gigs section, and you have computers, creative, events, labor, and something else. See, and look at the bigger cities. Don't look, if you're in a small town, don't look in your own town. Go look at San Francisco or Boston, New York, the bigger cities, and look for what people are willing to pay for specific services, and that gives you an idea. And I'll end with this, and Jenny, I'll let you share an idea. About 2 months ago, I almost bought a windshield repair business that I saw on Facebook Marketplace. I don't remember how I saw it, why I saw it, but it sounded interesting. This guy was making between $1,500 and $2,000 per month repairing windshields. His cost of goods was extremely low, and he was moving out of town. So he wanted to sell the business for $5,000 with all the tools that you needed and all the clients. Like he said that about 60 to 70% were recurring clients, people who had a chip or some type of issue right within windshield. And usually what happens is they call him 3 months later, 4 months later again, or 6 months later. And he wanted to sell it. I took too long to make a decision because I did not want to do this business. I had to talk to a guy who I trust, and I asked him, hey, if I buy this business, can you fulfill the service? And when we calculated the profit, we would make $50 an hour, and I was willing to pay this guy $35 an hour, and I would only take $15 an hour, but he would have to drive around, fix the windshields for these people, the clients, and we would share in the profits. But I would put up the money. The guy who was selling the windshield repair business wanted to sell it for $5,000, and I was going to negotiate it down to about $4,000, or at least pay him upfront less and then pay him monthly over time as we make money in the business. But even if, let's say I had paid $5,000, He was making somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000 working randomly after work or on Saturdays. He had a full-time job, he had a family, so he was not doing this full-time. He was just doing it here and there to make some money. Sometimes people had two chips on their windshield, and he would charge them twice, like 120 for the two. And so a lot of his clients would pay cash, and then he also was able to do it through insurance. So just a cool idea, right? Random idea. But I share that just to show you, like, you can find stuff that are going to make you money everywhere and all kinds of things. Windshield repair. And I'm actually talking to him. I told him, hey, let's create a course on how you build this, because I'm pretty sure people are willing to pay you a few $100s to learn how to make $50 an hour. That was his profit in the Sacramento area. I don't know if someone would make the same amount per hour in a smaller town. Just some ideas, right? That's a service-based. We're talking a lot about content-based in this group because a lot of people want to build a business online. It doesn't matter what you want to build. You can build it. You can make it. You can build a business that makes money. So, Jenny, I'll let you share your example before I'm talking too much again.
No, you're good. I love your ideas and examples. One of the things that I was just like taking notes of ideas that were coming to my mind as you're talking. But one of the things I really like to do personally is browse around groups in Facebook and see where people are gathering, and I've been shocked by some of the topics that there's a whole group around that have hundreds of thousands of people in. So I really believe that there's a group for you and what your idea, what is your problem, what do you like to talk about or like to do? There's opportunity when you get inside of those groups to find problems that need to be solved. People love to complain. And so when they're talking about, somebody starts talking about a pain point, you start hearing more. But for me personally, and since I'm talking about the groups, I wanted to just say, one of the groups in this group, I've posted over time, just different groups that I've found on Facebook that have been surprising to me, or maybe I thought they'd be surprising to somebody else. And one of them was if you go to the photos, you'll see a lot of I usually take screenshots and get them posted in the group. But some of them are around aquariums. And I thought, there's so much you could do going into that group. What are the problems people are having? Are they having problems cleaning, keeping it clean? Do they need to know how to set it up? I'm always thinking in terms of what kind of information do they need? And is there a way that I can partner with somebody who maybe has that information to provide it to the people? So there's always opportunity like that. For me, some of the things you said, Delia, the traveling thing. So when a lot of you guys know my story of a couple of years ago, we sold our house and we bought an RV and traveled around the country. And there's so many things I was not prepared for. And one of them was how long it took to plan our trip while we were on the road. So we didn't know exactly. We knew like the first month we had planned out. And after that, we didn't really know where we were going to go and what we were going to do. And that was literally almost a full-time job, because you had to see if there was any places open. You had to make the reservation. You had to figure out the route. How long was it going to take? And we did a lot of road trips before, but when you're driving something like an RV or pulling a trailer, it's my husband maxed out driving it like 3 to 5 hours. So we could only drive 3 or 5 hours a day, no more like 10-hour days and then stay for a week. So that changed things too. And we didn't know that going into it. So it was like a full-time job. I think that there could be some better tools or even a service that you put in your route, not just your route, but you say all the things that you want to do on this leg of the trip, and some service will plan that for you. There's lots of apps that help, but it's still, none of them had everything you needed, So you have like 3 or 4 apps that you're going through. It literally took a lot more time than I had planned. So I think there's some opportunity there. But that's, again, just getting involved and seeing some problems, I also this is a funny idea. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have all stayed at Airbnbs, and sometimes we just went in January. We were with some friends, and they had a condo, and we rented the condo next door. That was their condo that they have as an Airbnb, and we rented the one next door. There were 3 families, and all the adults hung out on one side and the kids were in the other condo. And their condo was decorated really nice. We all wanted to be in there because it was just felt cleaner, even though it really probably wasn't any cleaner than the other one, but it wasn't outdated. And the one we rented it was more dated. It was end of January, and they still had their Christmas decorations in there. Just things, I don't know. It just wasn't very appealing. We would do it again just because it's convenient, but I wouldn't choose to stay at that one. It just didn't have that homey feel to me. So I think that there's there probably already is groups like this or things that people are doing, but I think there's more opportunity too for people who own Airbnbs, get into those groups where it's Airbnb owners and see what kinds of needs they have. And I think there's opportunity to take pictures and even suggest or sell, put together home decor packages, basically, where you're, color schemes, whatever, I'll set up like a Pinterest board. I don't know. My daughter started going down that road a little bit, just to offer a service of this is what your Airbnb could look like. And even just putting something together and sending it. This is how I envision it. And if you want to hire me to get this done, it'll cost this much. And you just send that to the Airbnb owners. Anyway, lots of different opportunities out there. And we're hitting on the time. We have a hard stop in about 10 minutes. But I really appreciate using Facebook. I think that I like, I think what you say about books is a lot faster to be able to get in there and to quickly validate some ideas. And so there's a lot of value there. With Facebook, it's different because you're actually engaging with people. And I think getting that engagement where you're talking with people, you go into an aquarium group, or you go into Airbnb owners group, or you go into a meal planning group, or RV travel, family travel, or there's tons of them. Go into those groups and see what are people struggling with, and talk to them about it, and get some interaction going. And I think that if you have exercised your idea muscle in your brain, then you're going to start seeing more and more opportunities of ways you can serve these people. So anyway, I did post in the group. There's a worksheet that I have shared before for how to use Facebook groups, how I recommend doing it. And it's all self-explanatory in there, but I wanted you guys to know that PDF has been posted there. I also was going to post it's like a cheat sheet, basically, from my book, 29 Ways to Repurpose What You Know into Income. And I'll post that in there as well, just to get you guys thinking of all the ways. And that's not even all inclusive. There's, you can take half of this idea and half of this idea and come up with a whole new idea. So anyway, just want to get those wheels turning and get that idea muscle exercising a little bit more, so that you guys can see the opportunities that you have in front of you.
Yeah, and the thing is, we want you to post some of these ideas in the group. Don't expect that your first idea is going to be this $1 million idea. Just post ideas, just work that muscle and come up with ideas. What type of offer can I make to people? Now, when it comes to offers, right? First, we exercise the idea muscle, and I would love to see you come up with 3 to 5 ideas, even if they're terrible. Just it doesn't matter. Just exercising that muscle is going to pay off really well. So the first thing is just start writing some stuff down. Take a piece of paper, just write stuff down. What would people pay? Then you can go to Facebook, or you can go to Amazon. You can go to Craigslist, the gig section, and check to see if people are paying for this type of service, content, book, whatever. But then when you're making an offer, right, the next step would be come up with an idea and then validate it. See if someone is willing to pay you something. Or if you don't have the confidence, then offer to do it for free, or do something, or pre-sell something before you sell. So let me give you an idea. I love productivity. I've read tons of books. So if I were to post something on social media saying, are you interested in paying me $1 to get access to this ebook on how to become more productive as an Amazon seller, or how to save 5 hours this week as an Amazon seller.
Mhm.
And that's all I would say, something like that, right? I would refine it, make it into a sentence. Um, when you post it somewhere, or you ask people, hey, I'm looking to sell this, or I'm looking to create this, anyone interested in it, or I'm interested to sell it for $2 or $5 or $7, just put a price on it. It doesn't matter. If you get 3 people to pay you, then your idea is validated. That's kind of the goal. You don't have to go to your friends and text your friends. Other people say that, like, that's their approach. Go to friends and text, and you don't have to do it, but you can post it, right, in groups, or you don't even have to put a price point on it, because what you can do is you can test the ideas, like, hey, I'm looking to put down in an ebook the 10 things I've learned that have saved me 5 hours in prepping stuff for Amazon. Do you want it? Something like that. Some groups allow you to make those types of posts, and you can get some feedback. If I were to tell you, and there are a lot of Amazon sellers here, if I were to tell you, if in 5 days I show you how to build your own brand without having to worry about price wars, would you take me on that? Most people will probably say that yes. If you're still thinking about selling on Amazon, I know Amazon sellers love the idea of having their own brand, or having control of the listings they sell on. And in 5 days, I can show you a process using print on demand. So it's something I've done. It would be extremely easy for me to show you day 1, research, day 2, design yourself, day 3, list it, day 4, optimize, day 5, advertise. And I created the curriculum for a 5-day challenge, right?
Yep.
It's easy because I've done it. So when it comes to the offer we make, think about it in terms of how can you make it easy for people to say yes. That's one way to validate. So you don't have to charge. You can do it for free, get feedback, and then you charge. That's a way to validate. And Jenny and I were talking about doing something really cool after this challenge. And that is actually work with a handful of students, make an offer where we work with you to build a 6 income stream together. So you will get access to us, and together we're going to build an income stream. That way you don't have to worry about getting stuck or being overwhelmed. The way we want to do it, we have 3 tracks we can take, 3 different income streams we have already thought. But the way we would do it is we would see who becomes part of this group. And then based on the skills, assets, relationships, the things we have, we would leverage those things and build an income stream that leverages the strengths we have rather than the weaknesses, right? Because we have a list of ideas, and we were sharing back and forth, and that's why when Jenny said, too many ideas, we just need to pull the trigger on one. So we want to make that offer. We'll share with you more about it. It's only open to people who can commit about 5 hours per week of working in this project, on this project. So about 5 hours per week, that was the main thing. And you have to do your part. Like, the whole idea is we share the responsibilities, and we are going to get some work done. Now, if you don't have much time, but you can pay a VA, as long as you manage that VA, I can show you how to do it. So you don't have to do the 5 to 10 hours that you have to put into it. But the goal is build an income stream and actually share in the profits. So the goal is to go from 0 to more than 6 figures. And it's not going to take us, we might make a few $1,000s in the first 30 days, but the goal is to build an income stream that is stable, that is secure, that is going to grow to 6 and potentially 7 figures, and it will pay us really well if we do the work, right? That's why we're looking for people who are committed. We'll give you more details on it. Jenny, did you want to add anything to the?
I am so excited about this. I'm sorry I interrupted you, because I'm so excited. I'm really excited because I don't know anybody else that's really doing this. It's easy to, well, actually, the reason I'm excited is because Delia both, we talk a lot about where are people stuck? How can we get them unstuck? How can we help them take action? And we've addressed some of those things in the last couple of days, but it really comes down to, we can't make people take action. We just can't, but we can make it really enticing and a lot of fun. So what if we did all work together and we built something together and shared the profits? And I love the model that we're pulling together. We'll share, like Delia said, a little bit more in the next couple days, but it's a lot more fun when you're working together. You have a lot more leverage because everybody brings in their area of things they enjoy doing, plus things they're good at. And so you're really leveraging each other's strengths. And I mean, why not? This is what we should have more of people partnering together and building something. It's always so much better than doing it by yourself. So we're also really big on the idea of not just teaching you how to fish. We want to give you fish too. And so that's really what this does. It's teaching you. So you learn the process of how to build something successful. And then it's also, as it grows, you get to share in those profits. And so there's a lot of reward there. And anyway, I'm really excited about this model. I think it's when we've been talking for a long time. And when that kind of idea came out, what if we built something together? I think it was I'm sure it was Delia's idea. That was just a game changer to me. It's like, yes, that's it. Let's do this. And so we've been building that idea out a little bit more. Would love to know if that's something that you guys are interested in being a part of. Does that intrigue you? It does take some commitment. It isn't, or it takes a VA for you, like Delia was saying. It is something that we need to, pour into, and it eventually can probably bolt it down a little bit so it's more automated. But anyway, that's what we've been talking about, and would love to know, just get some feedback on that from you guys too.
Before we jump off, let's review what we talked about. Mm-hmm. So you look at what you have, any skill assets, then you probably want to research to see if there are other people paying for information or for a similar service. You want to validate it by posting it out there. If people don't want to take you on or allow you to do that service for free, they probably won't allow you to. They won't pay you for it. Mm-hmm. So that's an easy way, right, to validate if this is a good idea. Let's say I'm a graphic designer. I can go to any business and say, hey, I want to do this for free. I want to design your menu for free. And then you can offer menu design for free. You can go to a business owner and say, hey, I want to clean your windows for free. If you like it, you can hire me. Mm-hmm. That's intense. Yeah. Or you can take the content-based idea, right? So you want to validate. Don't spend money. Do not spend money in building a funnel and building a website, getting an LLC set up and getting business cards. Do not spend money. Validate it. If you get 1 to 3 people paying you for that, you probably have a good idea that can become a full-fledged business. So that was the intention of today's session. Yes. Just to encourage you, spend some time, write ideas down, start just writing down ideas. Many of them are going to be terrible. And some of my ideas are terrible. Not necessarily the ideas per se are terrible. It's just not a good idea for me, given the season I'm in, what my vision is for my business. There might be good ideas for someone else in a different at a different time in their business career. All those things, right? So, or it could just be a terrible idea. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Because if you exercise your muscle, you're going to get better and better and better. And you'll start to see connections between things that you never saw before. So validate, give yourself some time, make an offer, get people to take you on that for free, whether it's an ebook or service. Don't spend money on it or pre-sell it. If you are courageous and you want to pre-sell it for $1 or $7 or $100, whatever. I could post on Facebook, I'm part of a business group and I want to offer coaching, or I don't know, I'm available for coaching. Book a scheduled time with me for 30 minutes. Pay me whatever you want. right? You could do that. I could do that. Very simple. And I should probably do that between now
Yeah,
and
you might
Saturday.
actually be surprised what people are willing to pay. You probably undervalue yourself there.
Okay.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're talking about how to make it happen. Okay, guys, and it'll be around the same time. We'll post the exact time either tonight or tomorrow morning. But that's where we are. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Delia.
Bye, guys.
See you later.